Okay, very good afternoon to distinguished guests, my colleagues and my friends. Okay, so I'm Yuan, or I'm just a traffic guy from university. Okay, so today I just want to share something lah on this ITS Malaysia and what are the R&D challenges. Okay. All right, so this is about a little bit about myself lah. So I'm currently heading the Smart Mobility Center of Excellence and also Center for Transportation Research. So as I mentioned, I'm purely a traffic guy. So I know the ITS actually the profession involved in ITS is more on mechanical, electrical, computer science. But of course, we work together with this transport planning and also transport engineers to develop the ITS together. Okay. All right, so just a little bit on the introductions, what we experience here in Malaysia, okay? As you can see, all right, so here in Malaysia, we experience that there's a rapid development of our urban area. Okay, so our town, our city become bigger and bigger. And then due to this, people have to travel, so they have to buy cars. So it end up more and more people afford to buy the car and more cars moving on the route, and this cause congestions lah. So as you can see here, the data showing that we have about like 34 million registered vehicles, and our population in Malaysia is just also about 34 million, something like that. So averagely like one person, they own one car. Okay, so and due to this what we call that huge amount of the cars on the route, so we expect there may be a heavy congestions on the route. So especially in some big city like in Klang Valley. Klang Valley, we have our most major cities from Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, and also some big cities in Johor Bahru, and also in Penang Island. So this is what actually we experience. So we hope that to develop this ITS, we can help to solve and to ease these traffic congestion issues in Malaysia. All right, and also. We have also hope that using this ITS can improve our road safety lah in Malaysia. Okay, so just now my vice president, Mr. Shahrul, he already have explained something about our policies. So for information, I also wearing a few hats. So I'm also a council members in the ITS Malaysia under engineer Shahrul. Okay, so here is about the development of this ITS plan and policy in Malaysia. So of course, you can see that starting from 1999, they already have started what are the plan, how we should move ahead, what we need to do. Okay, so then slowly in the 2004 master plan, that is what they already have identified, what are the framework and key strategies. Then after that, we do have a system architecture, what are the systems that we can implement here in Malaysia, so to develop or maybe to make this ITS happen in Malaysia. So and then we have ITS blueprint, and just recently we have ITS roadmap 2030. Okay, so just now engineer Shahrul already have explained much about our ITS roadmap on the 2030 lah. So that's why I'm not going to emphasize too much on this one. Okay. And here, from this our academic and research point of view, what we need to achieve. Okay, we can see that in Malaysia, we have actually building more highways. Wherever there's a congestions happen, so surely there will be some proposal from our private sectors asking to get the approval from the Malaysia government saying that they should build more highway to ease the traffic congestion. But actually, we know, or some may say that they don't know. Actually, the more highway we build, it may induce more people to drive. Okay, so it will cause more and more cars on the road, and congestion will become worse. So that's why this is not a good solution. So that's why we want to, leveraging the ITS so that we can optimize the existing route capacity. Say for example, we have already have so many highways of this kind of kilometers of highway here in Malaysia, and then we want to see that how ITS can help to manage our travel demand, to manage our transport system, so that it can ease the traffic congestion issue here in Malaysia. So that's what we strive to do that. Okay, and of course here we want to do evidence-based mobility. We want to utilize the real-time monitor how the people movement using the AI, using the multi-modals integration, because it is all about supply and demand. Okay, once we know the demand, then only we can know that how much we need to supply. Say for example, like maybe for the traffic lights. So if there is actually we know that this particular amount of the cars actually waiting, queuing to clear the intersections. So we know that this is the demand, how much time it needed, then we supply. okay, how much time we should allocate for this particular approach to give the green phase. So exactly like what we are going to do. We want to change from the conventional, like building more highways and then more routes on the road, so that people can have a what we call that a better level service of the traffic flow. But actually, this is not. We want to convert this to really connected all the vehicle infrastructures. They do have this kind of communication with the cars, with the operators, with all the infrastructure here. Okay, so here I just want to share something about our challenges. All right, so here, we know that some most of this ITS algorithm or ITS systems, it works very well in the Western country, but here we experience a different thing because here in Malaysia, especially in Southeast Asia, we have one mode of transport, which is motorcycles. So we have a great portion of the road users are actually motorcyclists. So I think about 50 or 60% of the people actually ride motor. So actually, how we can adopt the same system to be implemented here in Malaysia is very difficult. So that's why we need to have this kind of research on how we can modify or enhance this kind of current ITS systems so that it can work well and suit to our local Malaysia's traffic scenarios. Okay, and of course here we do have a multi-modals travels. We have public transport, public bus, we have rail, we have scooters, things like that. It all move in the same infrastructure. So we using this what we so call the ITS. We hope that it can accommodate all the needs from these different mode of travel and different route users. And the second, we have this kind of so-called a challenge lah. We have the really data silos because here in Malaysia we face one issue is that about is the data. Because in research, what we need the most is the research data. I know in China there is some of the data is open source. You can easily get it from the government agencies. But here in Malaysia, we find it's very difficult to get this kind of data. Without the data, we cannot do a very good studies, or we cannot understand the demand of our travelers. So that's why here you can see that we have different highway concessionaires, we have different operators for public bus, for rail, and things like that. So each of them, they do have their own database. So it's sometimes very hard for us to get all this data to be stored, or we can access to this data in order to do some research on getting this what we call that understand our travelers' behavior. Another thing is also about the hardware. Okay, so this is more on the hardware and sensors part lah. So we do not have a standards, what we so call the API, or maybe the system that actually because here in Malaysia we do have a different local authorities. Like we have a Kuala Lumpur's city council, we have PJ city council and things like that. So they do have their own, say for example, what we so call the traffic modelings. Some may using this particular software to models the traffic. Some may using others. So actually, when we want to look at the macro level of this travel traffic plannings, we cannot really match all this because it is actually developed in different platform. So that's why this is also another difficulties lah. So getting the data and getting a standards platform which we can use it to compare, or maybe to put all the data in the same platform to utilize all this data. Okay. Yeah, another challenge, of course, that Malaysia is what we call that we have heavy rain, and we have high temperatures throughout the years. We do not have 4 seasons. So when it's a heavy rains, what we expect would be the flash flood. It's very common here in the KL area, especially in the city centers. So actually, this would be when we talking about the ITS, we install the sensors, install the camera, things like that. So when actually is under this kind of the weather, so this kind of the sensors, or maybe this kind of the mechanism cannot be working well. So this is also another challenge of how we can improve this kind of the instrument so that it can still function well under this adverse weather. Okay, so and also the next challenge is about the user behavior and also transit paradox lah. Okay, even though our government has actually spent a lot of money to develop our public transport system, we have 3 LRT lines, light rapid transit lines, and we have 2 mass rapid transit lines in the KL city. But still, some road users, they still actually prefer to use private vehicles to travel. So it actually we have to do this kind of the things using the ITS, this kind of thing, how actually we understand their behavior and how we can actually to induce them or to promote this kind of mood shift from private vehicles to public transport. Just now, Engineer Shara has mentioned, our target is like 40% of the public transport, I think by the year 2040, and in the year 2050, we have to target for 50% of the travelers should use the public transport. So that's from now, we should start study how actually we can going to do this kind of mode shift among our travelers. Okay, and then we do have this kind of opportunities lah. All right, so of course people are talking about smart traffic lights. So this is all about like supply and demand. So once we know this demand, then we can supply, we can change, and we can control our traffic lights, how much time we should put in there to make the traffic scenarios and to make the traffic system to be more smooth in the running the whole system. Okay, so this is about the AI lah. All right. But this AI is all about, because I myself is a traffic engineer, so this one but we do have this kind of the expert in our center and also in our university. So we have to work together in order to develop this kind of the system that can work well in our traffic system. Okay, so another opportunity is also connected vehicles and multi-lane fast flow. Okay, so of course before this, our normal definition and understanding of MLF is multi-lane free flow. But here, because we Malaysians, when we heard that it's a free, the word free, that means that they don't have to pay the toll, but actually they have to pay the toll. So that's why we changed the name multi-lane free flow become multi-lane fast flow. All right, but still, this is also another area that we should working into, where we should strive to develop the system on the multi-lane fast flow and also the communication vehicle to all the infrastructure, and only by doing that, then we can actually efficiently control our traffics. Yeah, of course, this one is for the development of this digital twins, all right? Because whatever the scenarios, whatever the strategies we want to try, so we cannot straight away apply in the real world. So we have to create and ship it into the digital twins and try these different scenarios and whether it's work or not, then only we can transfer it to the real world. But of course, for this digital twins, it's also need to take time to develop the models in the virtual world. All right. So, but of course, these are the things that our researchers, they are the one of their responsibility on doing this kind of works. Okay. And also for the simulation for the incident management, also we can conduct it using the virtual world, and then how actually we can act fast to the site as the shortest time. And then the final one is about the mobility as a service lah. So of course, this is actually provide some good advice for the traveler about what are the route, what are the mode of transport they should travel using our service. But here we have one difficulty is that because we have different operators for our public transport, so that's why we cannot actually able to get all this data to put in one platform to provide good advice to our road users. So this is another what we call that a challenge that we are going to face. So actually, I'm looking forward to do the establish of our national intelligent transport data center. Okay, so with this center, that means that all these operators, they will feed the data and put into our central. So for us in the research area, that we can actually to use and to apply to get this data to know our riders or traveler behavior. Then only we can plan how are we going to provide for our travelers. Okay. So this is the thing that we think we are the opportunity for us who actually working on the R&D in the university. Okay, so lastly, that we from academia, researchers from academia, from the government, from industry, we need to work together on actually to develop this kind of the ITS system. Because I know that I know in China, there's a lot of very advanced system or maybe technologies that actually we can adopt here in Malaysia. But I believe that before the real adoption, so I think the company should work together with our research team. Researcher from the university to prove to conduct this proof of concept. Then only they can actually have this kind of approval from our local ministry or governments to be implemented real time. So I think this is also opportunity. So that's why I looking forward to, for any industry from China. So if you want to, bring in any kind of the, latest technology and system, so you're welcome to contact us so that we can see how we're going to conduct this POC here in Malaysia and to prove it really works. Okay. So this is just a summary poster that what actually I presented just now. Okay, so about the research challenges, opportunities, and also what are the strategy that we can do. Okay, and lastly, because I'm a traffic guy, so I think this is my responsibility or duty. Actually, I want to promote this kind of the sustainable transport system. So this is just a short video to promote this. Okay, with that, so this is our contact. This is my contact, and also this is my research center's contact number. For those who are interested to have kind of, any collaboration opportunities or research opportunities, you are welcome to contact us. So with that, thank you very much. That's all with my short sharing. Thank you.